So you wrecked your car, busted your bumper all up, and you don't want to bring it to a repair shop for thousands of dollars, and you see these cheap bumpers on eBay and Amazon for like $100, $200, and you want to know what it takes to make it look brand new. Well, I'm going to show you everything you need in this video. Now, I'm far from a professional on this, but I've done a lot of these bumpers. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I have a lot of trial and error experience. So if you do exactly what I do, it'll come out pretty good. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need, all the steps, everything. Now, I already did the first 2 steps, but whenever you get this bumper, it has like a release agent on it where they had it in the mold. So you want to, when you get it, you want to wash it down with some hot soapy water a few times. And then you want to get a scuff pad and just kind of scuff it all up, wash it down again with some soapy water. And that's going to scuff it up good enough, and that's going to get all that release agent and oils off of the bumper. So to do this job, you have to have a big air compressor. You can't have a little small air compressor. It's just not going to work. You don't have to have one exactly this big, but you need a big one. And you're going to need a paint gun. This is a cheap one. This is a Vevor $99 paint gun. And you need a respirator, not a dust mask. You need something with some cartridges on it. So after that, you're going to need paint reducer. This helps stuff stick to plastic. I'll show you how you use that. You're going to need some alcohol to clean it. We're going to put down some primer first. I didn't do this on the first few bumpers, and I learned it just makes it a lot better. And then clear coat. And that's it. All right, let's get our bumper set up. I got a stand outside. You can use sawhorses, whatever you want, but this is what I have. I bought this stand on Amazon. It was pretty cheap, but you don't have to buy anything like this. You just need it off of the ground. And I got some pipes. That way it just raises it up a little more, because it's hard to get way down here to paint. This is my little contraption I have for kind of raising it up. Tied the back end up with this little piece of conduit. And that way you can kind of get down here, because otherwise it's all the way at the bottom. So I kind of just raises it up a little bit for you. All right, now we're gonna wipe it down with some alcohol. If you don't have alcohol, a lot of people use this brand right here, glass cleaner. Or you can buy some wax and grease remover, just whatever you want. But we just want to get that final little coat of any kind of oils or fingerprints, anything like that off of it. All right, now we're going to put some of this plastic adhesion promoter. Paint just doesn't really like to stick to plastic, so this helps out a lot. And it says, let's see, put a light coat on first, wait 5 minutes, then you put a heavy coat, wait 15 to 30 minutes, then paint it. So we're going to put this on, then we'll be ready to put the primer. This is a gray primer. It comes in white, gray, or black, just kind of depending on what you're going to paint. But you don't have to use the primer, but it helps a lot. And I have another tarp. We don't have any wind today, But I have another tarp that I cover how to go around two sides. That way if the wind picks up, I'll put it around the two sides. That way we don't get any overspray or dust blowing on this. Gonna start with our light coat. All right, that should be good for the light coat. We'll give it a few minutes and then come back with the heavy coat. All right, the timer's running. We have 15 to 30 minutes to get some sealer on it. Sealer is, or primer, whatever you want to call it, is 4-to-1. If you notice all the mix cup, it has 2-to-1, 4-to-1, so we're going to use the 4-to-1 column and mix up how much we want. And I use these disposable cups. Works a lot better than trying to use this and then clean it out each time, so I took that off. I shook this up good. Let's see. That should be enough to do the bumper. Since I went to the number 6 line, so the next column over, I'm gonna go all the way to the number 6 on there. Hopefully I have enough. Looks like barely enough. Alright, so there's tons of videos on how to set up your gun. So whatever gun you buy, just watch a video on YouTube for that. But let me show you one thing that I didn't know and it took me a long time to figure out. So if the specs call for 22 PSI, I thought it meant 22 right here at the gauge, but actually it's at half trigger. So you should have 22 whenever you halfway, not full trigger where the paint comes out, but if you go halfway, that's where you want your pressure, the spec set at. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. Put my mask on and get to painting. I got the first coat done, looks pretty good, but I'll come back with a little better coat after that. Wait, I think it said 15 minutes. Can't see too good in the shade. So one of the biggest things with painting is everything's on like a time schedule. Look at your technical data sheets. Like this is for base coat. So it tells you, it's going to tell you the pressures you need. It's going to tell you the dry times. So after you spray your base, wait 20 minutes before you spray your clear. Tells you all kind of stuff. So it's best to get the place to print this out for you, or you could print it out. But just go by that. 2 to 3 coats, 4 to 8 minute flash time between coats. So very helpful info, especially for beginners. All right, I went ahead and put that second coat on off camera, but it's absolutely perfect. Looks smooth. So I had just enough primer. So now we can mix our base coat. Get that on, and we'll probably put 2, maybe 3 coats. And you put that, I think it said every 4 to 8 minutes. We got it all set up right here. All right, I'm gonna mix the paint in a quart cup, and I'll do the clear coat in a little pint cup. But this is 2 to 1. So we're gonna go to the 2 to 1 column, and I'll probably go to either 5 or 6. And then the reducer, so if you go to 6, you just put the reducer all the way up to the 6 on the next column. So it's pretty easy. So I've been shaking this a while, so now we can get it open. And I painted a fender yesterday, and it matches really good. I'll probably just, let's see, I'll go to 5. And I went with slow reducer. So you can spray this up to 90 degrees, and it's going to be 90 today later. So we're trying to go pretty quick before it hits 90 degrees. So I went to the 5. Put that on the 5. It's not rocket science. Get us a stick, stir it up. And I already put a new little disposable thing in my paint gun. And each time you just get a new lid. I bought that at Harbor Freight, but they got them on Amazon. I'll put a link to everything. I'll link that VEVOR gun that we use. It works good. These guns, some of them are 700, 1,000 bucks. This one was 99, come with their gauge. Sets up real easy. All right, so everything's ready. I think we got about 10 more minutes and we can spray. All right, it's go time. It's a good first coat. No complaints. I don't think you can see it too good because it's shady under here. But raising it up definitely helps, because you got to get these bottoms, and that'll show big time, like when you match it up to your fender. So we're gonna give this 4 to 8 minutes and spray it again. All right, it's time for the second coat. Everything's super time sensitive. All right, we still have paint, so we might as well put a third coat on it in a few minutes. But it's coming out great. All right, I got 3 coats of base on. Went on great. So that's the easy part's over with. Now the hard part. Cleaned my gun real good. I ran some alcohol through it. So, and I always keep a little alcohol in the gun while I have it stored. And I had to lower the pressure. So if you looked at the technical data sheet, it tells you 27 to 32 pounds at the gauge, 8 to 10 at the cap. This gun needs a little bit more pressure to keep from having orange peel. So I got it, I think, at about 12 to 14 at the cap. So let's mix this up, get it sprayed. It's starting to get super hot. I need to get it done before it hits 90 degrees. Got it all mixed up. Gun is clean. Pop that on and we're ready to go. All right, I had to move the tent over. That way it'll stay in the shade. I don't want half of the fender out in the bright sun and the other half in the shade. So I kind of have it over, the tent halfway over it, just so it'll be in the shade. So let's get it sprayed and see how it comes out. Hopefully we won't have any orange peel. That's the hardest part. All right, first coat looks good, no orange peel. If you get orange peel in the first coat, you're stuck with it. You can't get it out. So far it looks like glass. So that's it. We'll put one more coat on it, and that's gonna be good. We'll let it dry for a while, and then we'll put all our other bumper stuff on it. I ended up putting 3 coats on it. I had enough clear coats. So I figured since it's the front bumper and it catches a lot of rock chips and all that and bugs, just went ahead and did 3 coats. But it came out good. I'm gonna get it inside in a few minutes, and you better see it better. I don't really see any orange peel, so I'm happy with it. Probably give it a good hour to dry out here, and then I'll bring it in. Okay, it's been a couple hours. I got it moved out more in the direct sun. It would have dried a little better. Probably give it another few hours. Let that clear coat get extra hard before it gets scratched up. We're trying to put the new stuff on it. So we'll just transfer all these pieces over. And I was noticing we do have a little crack right here, which is not a big deal. I'll fix that on the inside. It looks like they drilled through right there just to keep it fastened. Got a screw coming out. And all this was from another wreck, because this is that's not from the manufacturer. So we'll get all this transferred over. That's the sensor, which I'm gonna have to buy a new emblem. So I gotta buy that. I need to buy this little trim piece right here. And I think that's it. I had to buy the rod that should come in the next day or two. The hood support rod. And I think we have everything to put it all back together. So let's go check this out. I'm gonna move it. All right, you should be able to see it a lot better in the sun. But it came out perfect, no orange peel at all. I like it. It's gonna look great on the car. I'm gonna get it moved over here on the concrete and keep working. All right, got it moved over in the shade, let it cure a little bit slower instead of having it out in the sun and just baking. But let me show you a few more tips to help you out. So you don't need this much paint if you're just doing a bumper. I had to do a fender and some other stuff. I got to do the back bumper. And you don't have to buy this either. When you go to the paint store, tell them you want a pint of paint, and they'll mix this with the paint so it'll be ready to paint. You don't have to do all the mixing. They'll do all that for you. And so that should be like 20, probably 30 something bucks for a pint pre-mixed. And then so you're gonna need some clear coat. Here's some Sherwin-Williams, 112 bucks. So 30, 112. Then if you, let's see, you need the adhesion promoter, that's probably 40 bucks. And then if you choose to use the primer, that's probably another 50. So 200 for all the supplies. The bumper, those bumper covers are really cheap. They're probably, I think that one was 120. So for 200 and just say 250, you could have a new bumper instead of paying $2 grand at a body shop. So it definitely saves a lot of money. So in the next video, I'm gonna weld this bracket in. We'll put the fender on and the wheel liner. We'll get all these pieces transferred to the new bumper, get the bumper installed. And the only thing left, let's see, oh, in the back. Got a few things in the back. They had a bad strip of plastic on here, and it's not coming off too good, so we're having to sand that down, so I'm gonna have to repaint this. So after that, everything should be done with this car. So make sure you subscribe, check the comments out, because I'm gonna have everything you need. I'll have the paint gun, I'll have that adhesion promoter, I'll have all that stuff down in the comments. And I hope you found this video helpful. I know I'm not a professional, and they'll probably have some pro painters down in the comments saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, but this works perfect. I haven't had any issues. I kind of did this by trial and error. So I know it works and what don't work for me. So And you can follow this, watch a few more videos, and kind of learn on your own too, like I did. So if you would like the video, leave us a comment, make sure you subscribe, it helps us out a ton. And we will see you in the next video.